Get your pencils ready. Let's multiply.
All right, here we go. We are going to start working through different ways to do standard multiplication. We're going to start with a 2-digit by 1 digit. The steps to go through this is you are going to start with the digit in the bottom right, which is, in this case, our 2, and you are going to multiply by the ones on top in a spray pattern. So you start with the 2 to the 4, and then 2 to the 2. You're going to multiply the ones place and then the tens place. Your products of your multiplication facts go directly below the number you were multiplying by. So 2 times 4 is 8. And you will see that 8 is directly below the 4. Then we have 2 times 2 is 4, and the 4 is directly below the 2. So that is how you do 2 by 1 digit. Okay, you go ahead and try, pause the video, do this problem, and then come back and check and see how you did. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So here, if you follow the spray pattern, you would have done 4 by 4 times 2, and you would have got 8, and you put it directly below the 2. 4 times 1 is 4, and put that directly below the 1, and we have 48. Let's go on to the next type. Here we're going to do a 3-digit by 1 digit. To do a 3-digit by 1 digit, you are going to follow the same method, with the exception that your spray is going to widen. You're going to have 3 sprays. You're going to do the 3 times the 2, which is in the 1 place, 3 times the 1, which is in the tens place, and 3 times the 2, which is in the hundreds place. So when you go through this step, your products go directly below the digit you multiply. So 3 times 2 is 6. Your answer goes directly below the 2 and the 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Your product goes directly below the 1, and 3 times 2 is 6. And that also goes directly below the 2. So here we would have 636. You go ahead and try this one, pause the video, do 122 times 4, and then we'll come back and we'll see how you did. All right, welcome back. So you would have started with using your spray. So you would have done 4 times 2, you're multiplying by 2, and 8 goes directly below. 4 times 2 again is 8. You're going to put your product directly below the 2, which is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. Your product's going to go directly below, which is 4. And you should have come up with 488. If you did not get that answer, what you're going to want to do is go back, review the steps, and you may want to get out a piece of paper and do some practice problems. So let's go on to a 3-digit by 1 digit with carrying. Now this is the same you would do as a 2-digit by 1 with carrying, but I'm going to show it with 3. You start the exact same way. You're going to look for your spray. In this case, we have a 3-pronged spray. And you're going to start by doing 6 times 3. Now when you do 6 times 3, your product is a 2-digit product. You have a number in the tens place, and you have a number in the ones place. The number that's in the ones place goes directly below your 3. The number that's in the tens place, you are going to carry over above the tens place. Now what you're going to do, when you multiply, you're going to do 6 times 1, you're going to follow that spray, is 6, and then you are going to add what you carried. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And that digit goes directly below the number you just multiplied by. And then you go to 6 times 4, which is 24. And there we have 2 digits as well, but we do not have to carry because we have nothing in this place. So 6 times 4 is 24. The 1 lines up with the 4, and you put the 2 next to it. So 6 times 4 is 2,478. Go ahead and try this one. Pause the video, give it a try, and then come back and see how you did. All right, so let's look at 312 times 8. You would have done your 3-prong spray. 8 times 2, you do 8 times 2, it is 16. We have a 2-digit product. So our 6 goes here, and we carry the 1 on top. We then have 8 times 1, which is 8. We're going to add the one we carried, which would give us 9. And 8 times 3 is 24. We put the 4 directly below the 3, and then its second product to the left. If you had problems with this one, why don't you go ahead, go back, review the steps, rewrite some of your own problems, and then try again. All right, now we're going to go to a 2-digit by 2-digit problem. Here we have 51 times 32. We're going to start with the same thing. You're going to start with a digit on the bottom right. We always start with the bottom right, whether we're doing a 2-digit by 2, 2 times 3, that's where we always start. You're going to follow the same spray pattern and pretend as though your 3 is not even there. So in this case, we go 2 times 1 is 2, 5 times 2 is 10. Then what you're going to do is you are going to move over 1 place. So you're going to look at our 3. Now you can also here kind of pretend that 2 doesn't exist, if that helps you. Now when writing your products below, when you're doing your second spray, if I can get it to work here. There it is. Move that guy in there. You'll notice that we go 3 times 1, so we spray to the right. You always start with the right. Now the 3 is in the tens place, so we have to hold that by putting a 0 in our tens place on our second line. When you are multiplying by multi-digit numbers, all the products that you multiply by the number in the ones place go in the first row. All of the numbers that you multiply by in the tens place go in the second row, so we have our 0 there. So we're going to do, our 0 is for our 30 times that. We're going to do our next spray, which is 3 times 1, which will give you 3. 3 times 5, which gives you 15. And then what you're going to do is add those two together. You have 2 plus 0 is 2, 3 plus 0 is 3, 5 plus 1 is 6, 1 plus 1 is 1, 1,332. Okay, I'm going to walk through that one again, just so that you're clear. We did our 2 times 1 was 2. 2 times 5 was 10. Okay? Then we're going to go on to our tens digit. We're going to go have our 0 placeholder because we're multiplying by a 10. And then we do our spray to the right first. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. And then you add those two products together. Why don't you go ahead and try this one on your own. All right, so what you should have done is done your first spray. Sprays don't want to work, which is 1 times 6, which will give you 6. 1 times 2 is 2. You're going to put your 0 placeholder in. You're going to do then, move over to 10. 10 times 6, which is 6. 10 times 2, which is 2. You're going to add your products up. 6, 8, 2. So if you did not have that, you're going to want to rewind, rewatch, and try a couple on your own. Let's go on to 2-digit by 2-digit with a carry. You're going to start the exact same way that you started the other time. So look at your multiplication spray. You do 6 times 4 and 6 times 5. When you do 6 times 4, you get a 2-digit product. The 1 digit is going to go directly under the number you multiplied by, and the tens digit is going to be carried above the tens place. When you then do your second spray, 6 times 5, which is 30, you are going to add 2, and you will have 32. You then move over to your tens place, and you start that spray. You'll have 4 times 4. Oh, have to step back. You have to put your 0 placeholder in because you moved to the tens place. 4 times 4 is 16. So I put my 6 down here. And what you're going to notice is I already carried a number. Now, some people say erase it. I don't say erase it. I would put a slash by it and put the new number you're carrying above it. That way when you go back and you check your work, you can easily remember what you did the first time. Now we're going to go 4 times 5, and we're going to add the second digit that you carried. 4 times 5 is 20. Plus 1 is 21. I'm going to add those together. 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 2 is 8. 3 plus 1 is 4. Am I missing a number here? I am. That number should have been there. 23. I don't want to move right though. 4,484. Okay, you go ahead and try one, and then we'll correct it together. All right, so we would have started with our lower right-hand corner, which are 3 digits. You do your spray. 7 times 3 is 21. And our 1 should be here somewhere. It must not be. We have 21. 21 is a 2-digit number. Your 1 goes in the ones place. You carry your 2. Whoop. You carry your 2 up above. Let's ignore that 3 right now. And you move to 3 times 4, which is 12, plus 2, 14. Move over to the tens place. Put your 0 placeholder in because you're multiplying by a 10. 5 times 7 is 35, and I already accidentally carried my 3. So I'm still going to cross out my 2 to ensure that I remember I carried a 2 the first time, but I'm not using it this time. I have 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3, 23. Add them up. 1, 9, 4, 2. So my answer is 2,491. Hopefully that's what you got. If not, rewind, watch again, and try some on your own. Okay, you can use these steps to do any digit by any digit with a carry. So after you understand the spray and you understand the movement, you can do this with any problem. You always start lower right-hand corner. Do your spray. 9 times 8 is 72. Carry my 7, because it's a 2-digit number. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 7 is 52. Now this time, it's the same thing. I put my 2 here, and I carry my 5. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 5, 23. I'm going to move to my tens digit to multiply. I'm going to do my 10 spray, my 0 placeholder. 6 times 8 is 48. Toss up my 7, carry my 4. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 4. Cross out my 5, carry my 3. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 5, 15. Add those up. 2, 16, 8, 7, 1. The same with this one, with the 3 digits. You do your first spray, the second spray, and this time you just add in a third. So you have your 3 sprays. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video, give this one a try, and then I'll solve this one and see how you do. So this one's a little challenge one. Okay, so let's give this one a try. We start with our first spray. It's our 1s place. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. You can put a plus sign there if you want to remember. 4 times 2 is 8. As I move to the tens place, I know I have to put a placeholder because I'm multiplying by a 10. Put number in the tens digit. I do my spray. 5 times 7 is 35. Cross out my 1 and carry my 3. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3. So it's 13. Carry my 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1, 21. Now I'm going to move to my hundreds digit. Because it's 100, in the 100 place, I know that if I did expanded form, that 1 is worth 100. And if I multiply the number by 100, I would have 2 placeholders. So if I'm multiplying by any multiple of 100, I need 2 placeholders, and then I follow my spray. 1 times 7, 7. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 4 is 4. I add them up. 10, 19, 4, 64,900. I hope you have a really nice long break. If you need additional practice, make up some problems on your own and check them on the calculator. See you Monday.